Would you kill this deer?
A man is facing state game violations after he allegedly killed a deer out of season.
Uh-oh.
This, though, was no average deer. Ross Gadati joins us with more on the deer, the allegations, and reaction from a hunter who says he watched that deer grow up. Ross.
Now, before we get into any of this conversation, let me just say this. I would put the smack down on that son of a bitch, okay? No questions asked. Only if it was in season. That is once in a lifetime. That's just insane, bro. A pure albino whitetail, dog. For a buck, that's insane. Granted, all blacks, I forgot the M word, I forgot what that's called. An all black whitetail or an albino all white whitetail are rare. Yes, rare as shit. But you got your piebalds, which is common, okay? But not too common.
Yeah, you really don't need to be a hunter or any kind of outdoorsman to really grasp what an amazing specimen this deer was. And that's one of the many things that has so many people angry over a case the Game Commission is calling basically a situation of out-of-season poaching.
I mean, hell, if you kill it like that, yeah, I bet you a lot of people would be angry. Bro, imagine all the hunters that had trail cameras of this deer trying to kill it and then waiting for the next gun season to open or little gun time period that they have probably in this state. And out of nowhere, this deer just comes out dead. That must suck.
It had many names, depending on who you asked.
We called him Whitey, or the albino.
Sorry, I moved to the bathroom, but yeah, I did. Generic name. I would have named him like fucking Snow. Somebody said Whitey. Why not just Whiteout? Or like they were like the White G.I. Joe Ninja. What's his name? I don't know. Storm Shadow. I think that's what it is.
I've heard some people called him Midnight, because he always showed up in the middle of the night to their feeder.
Midnight. Isn't that the time you usually go out to spotlight? No wonder he killed him.
Regardless of what it was called, this snow white albino white-tailed deer that roamed around Jefferson Township, Fayette County, was something else.
It was, I mean, just a sight to behold, and especially seeing him grow through the years. From the time he was just a little basket rack to what he's been the last 2 years was like a 13 to 14 point buck.
It is so crazy what these deer are capable of. Like a full albino whitetail dog, that's probably avoided so many more predators than an average whitetail. And just to live that long like that is just insane. And a lot of deers can come from major injuries as well. It's survival of the fittest, bro. Like, they have to... When something happens like that, either it's pigmentation or a bad injury, dude, these whitetail will survive to the last string, I swear, bro.
And then the color, striking color. He stood out. You could see him coming from half a mile away.
No shit.
But according to the Game Commission, the big buck was illegally shot somewhere along Cope Road by a man identified as Laramie Noel Cisco.
Laramie? Motherfucker, your mom couldn't figure out if you're a boy or a girl. Motherfucker was like, Larry or Emily. Fuck it. Laramie. Dog, what?
The wildlife management area where the animal roamed has a week break in between archery and rifle deer season where there's no hunting. And that's when, according to the Game Commission, Cisco allegedly poached the deer and then tried to get it processed.
Laramie. And you tried to get the deer processed. Dude, if you know anything, like anything at all, why would you do that?
There was a sort of unspoken and spoken agreements that the white deer was going to get to live out his days naturally.
I don't know. Yeah, predators could have got to him. Some dramatic something, maybe. Or we could go to the best explanation. A hunter. Because in all reality, dog, on public land, maybe 200 plus people hunt that. One of them motherfuckers are bound to shoot it during the season, unless unless the state has a law where you cannot kill a pigmented deer like that.
Laramie Cisco faces the possibility of fines and the loss of his hunting license for good. Whatever outcome, Josh Kiefer, veteran hunter and outdoorsman, says it was all so unnecessary.
And honestly, if somebody had taken him legally, I might have disagreed with it, but I would have respected that decision.
Respect.
Mr. Cisco, of course, has yet to have his day in court. He'll go from front of a district magistrate to argue his case. Mr. Keffer telling me, however, there is actually now another white deer in the area. It is essentially a fawn. It's believed to be a doe. And he says he's hoping that hunters in the area basically give that animal the chance to grow up like the deer that was recently killed.
Yes, let that deer grow. Let it produce more white deer.
Had the opportunity to do. Reporting live in Greensburg, Ross Gennady, KDKA News.